If your content isn't working, it's not because of your camera, your product, or the algorithm. It's because your story sucks. In this series, I'm breaking down exactly how to fix that, step by step, and how to use AI to plan, script, and deliver stories that made me work with brands on a global scale. Most people think that storytelling starts when you hit the record button on that camera, but the truth is that if you're not crafting the story before you start to shoot, you are setting yourself up for failure. Next week I'm flying to Paris and London to film the whole content rollout of a clothing brand called Trico. And over the next 3 videos in this channel, I'm taking you through the real storytelling process. It's the skill that decides if your content gets ignored or it gets remembered. By the consequence of that, you get more sales or you get better results, whatever you want to do. The first and the most important piece of information you need to know is that gear doesn't matter, insane cinematic shots doesn't matter, because without a story, your videos will always feel empty. And it's something that took me years to realize how important this skill is. Alright, let's get into business and let me show you exactly how I do the pre-production of a crazy shoot like this that we have in common. We have a whole week in Paris and London shooting in crazy spots and a lot of chaos going on, so I need to be organized with it. And this is actually the first time I am planning and writing a script for a Trico lifestyle YouTube video, because all those previous episodes have been completely improvised. And the last one has been a little bit off, and that cannot happen. We need to be at top level. For something simple like this, I just use the free notes app on my MacBook and my iPhone, so in that way I have them connected. So here we have it, the Trico lifestyle YouTube video project, where I have this brief introduction of what I want it to look like. As you can see here, I wrote the Kanye West Netflix documentary as my key reference because of how I want the video to be structured. And when we arrive to the actual script of the video, you can see that it's super short and it's super simple for something like this, which is an extended trip. It is a long video, it's not a BTS of a shoot, it's kinda like a documentary of the Trico guy's journey. A story is just a hook to catch the viewer's attention, the introduction of the problem that suddenly needs to be solved, the journey that the characters of a story go through, which usually after highs and lows end up with the climax of the video, which is the highest part, the most intense one, and finally after that you just end up with the resolution of the video. Every great piece of content has all these elements, so the people watching doesn't get bored. So here I have the topic, which is the main idea of the video. Here I have the title for YouTube, which is something essential to keep in mind. And then I split this piece of content by different acts, which is the hook, the introduction of Trico's story, then how the mission begins. Then I want to mention specifically the clothes that we are dropping. I'm introducing Paris, then we fly into London. Then I'm introducing the community drops, which is something new and it's something important to mention. To close the loop, we need to show the results after all that week of struggles. And finally, at the end, always I'm trying to implement a call to action, which is just subscribe to the channel and join the waitlist of Trico. If you want to instantly improve your content, ask yourself these 3 questions. First one is, who is this for? Second one is, why should they care? And the third one is, what do I want them to feel by the end of the video? Here I have short ideas which I want to do, and then I have emergency quotes for the guys if they don't have nothing in mind to tell. These are a few cool phrases that they can just read and say to the camera. Basically, this is not an actual script. This is just a guide for me to know what I need to film and what content and what dialogues I need to search for. Because I have my story in mind, but in the middle of the shooting, where everything is so chaotic and everything is improvising and the guys don't know what to do, what to tell, I come back to these documents and I know exactly what I need to shoot and what they need to tell. Me personally, when I write a script, I don't just sit staring at a blank page anymore, because AI has completely changed how I plan my shoots. I promise you that in the future I will do an extended video of how I use AI and ChatGPT to create all my stories, all my scripts and everything that has to do with my work. But right now I will just show you how I craft my prompts, what do I want the GPT to tell me, and how do I contrast the information it gives me and mix it into something interesting. But make sure to not get too comfortable with this. AI won't make you killer videos. You still have to come up with an idea yourself, you still have to craft those prompts for ChatGPT, and you still have to take that text that it gives you and turn it into something worth watching. And that is the most important skill right now in this year where everyone is making content, and it's that literally anyone can create a banger script, but not anyone can bring it to life. Obviously, I have my ChatGPT trained, I have a few prompts integrated in his memory. First of all, I tell him the title of the video, and second of all, using the voice recognition tool he has, I just tell him everything about the video we're doing, about the context of where we're going, of what we're shooting, of who is Trico, of what I'm trying to implement in the video, of the reference that I have. Basically everything you have in your mind. You just tell him as much information as possible, then you just press enter and wait for the results it gives you. But trust me, you are never going to end up with the result you want on the first try. You need to keep practicing your prompts, you need to keep delivering him more information. This is a skill you need to develop, how to talk with ChatGPT, how to properly use AI. It's not yet at that stage of doing everything you need just by telling him in 2 words. It is not an agent yet. It is not a super intelligence yet, it don't know what you want. It's still a tool that you need to learn how to use. And let me emphasize on this once again. AI doesn't replace creativity, it just frees your mind to focus on the really important stuff. And basically that's it. If there's one thing that I want you to take out of this, is that the worst thing you can do is wait until you're shooting to start thinking about storytelling. And that's how you waste energy, time, opportunities, because you're risking everything to last moment. And let me get this clear, I am not some fancy movie director, I'm just a broke 22-year-old filmmaker working from this basement in Spain, but storytelling is that one skill that got me to the point I am right now, that pushed me forward and allowed me to work with brands like Trico and to take my work international. And next week this plan goes into motion, 2 cities, 0 excuses, and that will be the real test of whether all these advices I'm telling you right now actually work or not. So stay tuned, and I'm seeing you here on this channel on next Sunday. Take care.